Hey y'all, welcome back to InDFlix. Let's get into the finale of Love Island USA Season 7. We're celebrating incredible moments, heart-wrenching squabbles, shocking twists, and yes, the winners have been crowned. First up, thank you for watching all of the recaps for the season. Definitely more recaps to come. Let's dive into episode 36. The finale opened up with 4 unforgettable dates. Each couple got their chance to shine, sunsets, fancy dinners, and, of course, those tear-jerking speeches. Nic and Alandria reflected on their late blooming love. They got to read notes from their viewers, their fans of the Nic Olandria gang, and really just take back all the moments that they were able to share with each other. I do believe that these two will probably continue on outside of the villa. We all seen it, how much Nic is so into her. It's definitely a different feeling from how he was with Sierra. It's just clear. And although she's a slow burner, I think she's also going to open a lot more for him. I'm excited, She also got to hear a letter from her sister. Nic read it to her, and she broke down in tears. And I think that gave her even more concrete validation, like this is what she should be doing. Having, of course, her sister's approval. She already got her mom's approval on their relationship. So I'm very excited to see where they go outside of all of this. Pepe and Iris had a date out on the water, and I'm not going to lie to y'all. I didn't watch it. I was one of the people that did fast forward most of these dates, just simply because I'm just not interested. I mean, this is the last episode. We voted already who we wanted to win. I've said in prior videos, I don't see it with Iris and Pepe. I'm really surprised that they made it this far to be their finale night. But, I seen some of what people were saying on social media about the date. And I don't know if it's true, but they were kind of saying Pepe was coming across trying to tell Iris she's like the side chick, I guess, because he's planning on visiting her, just driving to her one day a week and them having their first date at In-N-Out. I don't know. It gives friend vibes to me. So we'll see what happens afterwards, after the villa, between these two. Honestly, I'm not that dedicated or interested, but if they really truly found each other and love and want to explore, I know in this date they didn't say they were exclusive or closed off or anything like that. So who's to say what's going to happen afterwards? And who's to say Hannah's not waiting at the door or at the airport for Pepe? I don't know. Do y'all think that's going to be a situation where he might double back and get with Hannah if the opportunity presents herself? Or I don't even know if Hannah and Charlie even reconnected. So it's a lot going on there. Now, the date we're talking about. When I say, y'all, this was true entertainment. Huda is definitely a theater kid. She knows how to turn it on and she knows how to turn it off and back on again. Their date was so romantic. Beautiful. Beautiful date. Floating candles. We had a singer come out, perform a solo. Gorgeous scene. And for this beautiful moment to not have a beautiful outcome was crazy to watch. And I'm not going to lie, I already kind of felt, because prior to this, Chris was already feeling some hesitancy about Huda. The night before, she wanted him to cuddle, and he just didn't want, he wanted to sleep. He's like, I don't really want to do all that. I want to go to sleep. This girl turned around and was like, look, I'm going to give you to the count of 3. And I'm just paraphrasing, y'all. I'm going to give you to the count of 3 to hold me, or you're going to have to deal with it tomorrow. And I hope you're ready for that. If that's the risk you're willing to take. That's what I got from what she said. And she proceeded to count down. Like, That is not your child. And respectfully, Chris ignored her. And I don't know about him. If that was me, I'm getting out the bed. There's plenty of other empty beds in here. There's only 4 of us in here. I'm hopping in another bed. That was crazy for her to do that. Was that not the last night, but like the last night after they. And I get it. You want to be in a celebratory mood because y'all made it to the end, but y'all were already on rocks. And I'm sure Chris was thinking like, dang, how are we still here? So when the date happened, he tried to put that to the side and enjoy the date. But she wanted to have the conversation. She had a conversation with Amaya prior, saying the physicality isn't there and that they need to have that conversation because she don't know how it's gonna work on the outside because she's always initiating. So she brings it up to Chris. And first of all, no, she doesn't bring it up to Chris. She asks Chris first what his issues are with her. And he tells her, like, what happened the night before, the whole countdown. I value my sleep. That was unnecessary. And it just shows your reaction to things, basically, when you don't get your way. We've seen it all season long. I don't care what excuse anybody has for standing next to her. We've seen how this girl's reactions have been all season long. And still, she's like a deer in headlights. She makes his problems not even like her problems, more of like, okay, but I have these problems and these problems should only matter. And that's the difference between those two. When Huda brings a problem to Chris, he acknowledges that problem and he says, look, okay, I'll work on that. When he brings it to her, it's like, F what you gotta say. These are my problems with you. And the fact that you're mad at him about being physical when y'all already went way far beyond a snuggle, how do you expect this man to be all mushy-gushy all over you and stuff like that when you won't even kiss him in public or kiss him in front of other people? It's not making sense. It's not making sense. And basically towards the end of it, I think we already knew Chris was checked out. But Chris wasn't going to say it. He wanted Huda to say it. So they sat there. And he was like, go ahead, say it. I already know what it is. And she tried to say, I just want us to be friends. And he was like, I already knew that. And respectfully, we ain't going to be friends just straight off the rip. I'll be cordial. But I'm not going to be all buddy-buddy with you after this, which is rightfully so. Because he said he had feelings for her and she's ending it with him. And that was basically the night. They had someone come out perform. That was definitely awkward. He got up and dipped. Like, he's like, he don't want to deal with all this. My man was throwing back them champagne flutes, though. He walked away without her. Now, when they got there, he carried her over the water. When it was time to go, he walked out by himself. He did come back and was like, yo, you trying to go? Like, the date's over. Like, you trying to wrap it up? And honestly, I think maybe producers told him to go back in the camera and see if she's ready to go. Like, he couldn't just walk off. And, she asked him, are you going to carry me? He's like, no. Get the paddling. I'm not carrying you. Like, you good. It ain't that deep. Like, just walk on by. And I'm happy that Chris stood on how he felt and what he deserved, because I don't care. Again, that girl has been mistreating a lot of people in that villa. Obviously Jeremiah, then the girls, the new bombshells, and now Chris. Like, it's been a pattern with her. So no, you can walk. You're good. And that was it. Their chapter has officially closed. And I expected it to. Even if they were going to fake the funk to the finale, I definitely didn't think after all this, it was going to continue on. But back to the purpose of the show, of it being Love Island. Amaya and Brian shared a beautiful date in the evening. They got to look back on photos of them growing up, basically still sparking, their heartfelt declarations for each other. And then they are a couple out of all these dates who have made it exclusive. So congratulations of going exclusive. Do I think that maybe it moved fast? Possibly. But what the way they started, it makes sense, right? Like, he stood up for her. He accepts her for all that she is. Families are getting along. They never really, I think that's what my hesitancy is. They never really had a bump yet. So I don't know how they would handle. They had a bump, like unlike, other strong couples that did get through stuff like that. So, I mean, but, they're exclusive now. We'll see. I have seen some people on social media think it was gameplay on Brian's end just to make it safe for him if they were to win and guarantee he gets some of that money. I don't know. Only they know their true intentions behind all this. But, they seem happy overall. And then the next day came time for the reveal. The women looks very good, very stunning. The men too, they dressed up nicely. Of course, they have those last declarations for each other. And how they felt about their journey throughout all this before Ariana Madix came out to let us know who has won. So, I mean, this season, I have a lot of mixed emotions about it. It's definitely way different than the other seasons. But, it is what it is. So she went, from fourth to first. In fourth place, Iris and Pepe. Which of course didn't surprise me at all. It's kind of funny. I don't know if anybody else noticed their reaction. They kind of just like looked at each other like they were surprised. I don't know why, but yep, they were fourth. And then third was Huda and Chris. So, obviously, it's obvious. They don't like each other. It would be crazy if they won. It'd be crazy for America to vote for them. And it's been clear as that they do not like each other. And then it was down to the final two. Nic and Olandria won second place of this season. And I feel like that's very telling. Like, their relationship obviously started late in the game. But I think because it was such a strong friendship that it was so easily moved to become a romance, they won the hearts of a lot of people. And again, many, many people have said they've seen the connection from day one. So I'm glad they were in the top two. My personal preference, I definitely wanted them to win. But they're in top two. I'm not mad at who the top two were at all. They both were my top couples. And with the votes tallied, Ariana announced Amaya and Brian are the winners, making them the first Latino couple to win Love Island USA. So definitely congratulations to the couple. I am hoping nothing but happiness and success for y'all. Y'all did what y'all was supposed to do on the show. Amaya definitely has been through the ringer with these men on this show. So the fact that she's been through the most on here and still came on top. So happy for her. And then of course, next came the 10th envelope reveal, where each one picks an envelope. One of them will state $0, the other 100,000. Brian opened the envelope. He's holding $100,000. And I feel like we all knew what was going to come next. He gave, obviously, the split of 50-50 with Amaya. So we know there was no drama here. The couple wanted to win together. They're exclusive. And that's it. And I ain't gonna lie, after all this, I was like, what would have happened if Chris and Huda had won and Chris got the money? I don't know. Was anybody else thinking that? Do y'all think Chris probably would have kept that 100,000 to himself and kept it pushing or split it with her? or vice versa. I don't think if Huda won that 100,000, she was splitting it with Chris. I really genuinely don't. I think she would probably use it as like, oh, I'm a mom, to keep all that money. But I'm just happy for Amaya and Brian. So happy. So, as we clearly seen, season 7 wasn't just about love. It saw a lot of controversy too. Contestants were moved over past remarks, public petitions to stop cyberbullying, recouplings that defied fan expectations, and powerful friendship bonds forming. Despite the drama, many felt Amaya's emotional honesty turned the tide, and fans cheered the Latina representation victory. That wraps up Love Island USA season 7. Congratulations again to Amaya and Brian, and props to all of the finalists. Comment below, were you Team Amaya or Team Nic Olandria? Did the winner surprise you? We will see more because we have the reunion on August 25th in New York City. So I already know things are going to heat up. So I will see you guys definitely for that. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.